Hakadosh Boker or Masechet Nedarim Daf Yomi Amud 53a1 says the Mishnah Noder Mina Temarim. Somebody that comes and he makes a neder about dates. Mutar b'dvash tmarim. He's allowed to eat the dvash tmarim, the honey which comes out of the dates. If a person comes and he makes a neder to prohibit himself mistvaniot, which are basically in vechoref, right? These are like hard grapes, which they don't become ripened in the proper time in the tkufat of Tishri. So mutar bechometz sitvaniot. So you're allowed in the chometz, in the vinegar of stavaniot. Rabbi Yehuda says, "Kol sheshem toladato kluya alav." Anything which, whatever is nolad from it, has the name of it. So, for example, right, that we just mentioned before, v'noder menu, and you make a neder from it, asur bayotze menu. So you are prohibited. Meaning, Rabbi Yehuda argues on the Tanakama, and he says the fact that it's still called dvash tmarim, it still has tmarim in it. So therefore, you're adding dvash. Well, obviously, because it's honey, it's not actual dates. But the fact that it still has its name on it, it's going to be prohibited. The hachamim matirim, but the rabbis permit it. What does that mean? That means obviously the Gemara is going to ask a very simple question. Chachamim is like Tanakama. Because Tanakama said it's permitted. Rabbi Yehuda b'mitira says that it's going to be prohibited. And then all of a sudden it says the Chachamim permit it. That's Tanakama. Says the Gemara, Chachamim ainu Tanakama. So 1 second, but Chachamim is Tanakama. So answers the Gemara, the difference between them is Hada the Tanya, that which we learned in a Braita. We learned in a Braita, Klal ze amar Rabbi Shimon ben Lazar. This general rule Rabbi Shimon ben Lazar said, Kol shedarko le'echol. Right? Anything which the normal thing is to eat. V'derech hayotze mimenu le'echol. And you also eat that which comes out of it. Right? That which comes out of it. So what did we just say? We just said that if somebody right now came and the klal is anything that you usually eat, plus you eat what comes out of it. So for example, does everyone eat tmarim here? Dates. You eat dates?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you have dvash tmarim? Yes.
Yeah.
Meaning, if you eat the food, plus you eat that which comes out of the food, kegon tmarim udvash tmarim, nadar bo, if you made a neder in the tmarim, asur bayotze mimenu. So therefore, it's going to be asur in that which comes out of it, which means not only are you asur in the tmarim, you're asur in the dvash tmarim. Right? Why? Because it comes from it. It's a darko. Noder min hayotze mimenu.
Silan.
What do you want? So noder min hayotze mimenu, right? If you made a neder from that which comes out of it, for example, the dvash tmarim, asur bo. So you're not allowed to have it. Also, in the tmarim. So that means it comes out that the fact that you eat both, doesn't matter which one you do, you're asur in the other one. If you made a neder against the dvash tmarim, you're not allowed to eat it, right? It says over here, okay, and the other way around as well. But if you don't eat it, but you do eat the what comes out of it. For example, the stavaniot. So anoder bo en asur beyotze mimenu. So when you make a neder of it, it's that which comes out of it. Shelo nitkaven ze el yotze mimenu. Because when you had the kavanah, for example, these stavaniot, these are in ve'achoref. You don't eat these anavim. So the fact that you don't eat these anavim, if you made a neder, right? It says over here, anavim, right? Grapes.
What anavim you don't eat?
Sitvaniot are in vechoref. They're like ones which they do not. Yeah, they don't get ripened in the proper time. Okay, so it says over here. So therefore, anoder mimenu, anoder bo en asur b'tzem menu. It's only going to be why, because when you have the kavanah, you have the kavanah to that which comes out of it, because you don't eat it. Meaning, if you never eat these types of grapes, so when you make a neder against the grapes, your kavanah is on the grapes. Because anyway, you don't eat the grapes. The kavanah is that which comes out of it.
If you make a neder, you're not going to benefit from.
There's the Mishnah. This is now the second Mishnah on the page. Nun Gimel Amud Aleph 53a1. Says the Mishnah, Hanoder Minayayin. somebody that's going to be noder minayayin, from the wine, mutar yen tapuchim. It's going to be mutar yen tapuchim. Yeah? Why? The stam yain is yain of anavim, not of tapuchim. Yen tapuchim, I think it's called apple cider. Yeah? Apple cider. Okay? Mina shemen. Person comes and he makes a neder of the shemen. Mutar b'shemen shum shemin. He's allowed to use canola oil, no? That's what I think they call it. Sesame. What's that? Sesame oil. Okay? Sesame oil. Sheken stam shemen is shemen zayit, is olive oil. Mina dvash, right? From dvash. So he's permitted in dvash tmarim, because stam dvash is dvash devorim, which means that comes from bumblebees, not from the actual tmarim. Mina chometz, from vinegar, mutar b'chometz sidvanit. Sidvaniot is going to be permitted in sidvaniot. Why? Because stam chometz is chometz yain. That's stam chometz. Mina krishin, from leeks. Mutar b'kaflutot is going to be permitted in these types of leeks, which is like a bal rosh betzal gadol. It's like a big onion.
Leek, no,
I just mentioned leeks. But b'kaflutot. What are kaflutot?
Leeks with a head.
Leeks with a head.
Okay.
No, that's karti. That's the krishin, yes. Min a yarak, from the yarak. Yeah, mutar b'yirakot hasadeh. He's going to be permitted in the yirakot of the sadeh. Okay, why? In all these things, it's because shehu l'shem levai. What does that mean? The reason why these are all, because it's all the shem levai, which means in all these things, you need the name plus a levai, which means it's not the shem klali. Okay, so therefore, the means like this. When you say yain, yain is yain. Yain is anavim. When you want to say of tapuchim, you have to add yen tapuchim, right? The fact that you have to actually have an accompanying name, so therefore that's not the original. Okay? Then we learned in the Braita, noder mina shemen. Somebody that comes and he makes a neder from shemen. Yeah, so he comes and he says like this: Be'eretz Yisrael, mutar b'shemen shum shemim ve'asur b'shemen zayit. In Eretz Yisrael, it's going to be permitted in shemen shum shemim, but it's going to be asur in shemen zayit. Ubebavel, but in Bavel, asur b'shemen shum shemim to b'shemen zayit. Which means in Babylonia, the main oil was not olive oil. The main oil was shemen shum shemim. So therefore, in Babylonia was the exact opposite of an Eretz Yisrael. That's usually it is. Huh? Yes. Eretz Yisrael, there's a Eretz Zet Shemen, right? Exactly. Everything is Zait. Yeah? Fine. Makom shemistabkin mizeh umizeh. What about if you use both? And you also use olive oil and you use other oils. Asur b'zeh v'zeh. So now it's going to be prohibited in both of them. Okay? So says the Gemara Pshita, obviously. So says the Gemara, Lotzicha, what is the chidush? The ruba minchad mistapkin. The majority they still take from one. So Mao the time I would have thought to say Ezel Batrubu, you go after the majority. Kamashmanan comes to teach you Safek Isur lechumra. This is Safek Isur. So since it's Safek Isur, it's lechumra. Nowadays, noder mina yerek b'shar shenei shavua. If a person comes and he's noder mina yerek on the other years of the machzor of Shavi'it, right? That means every year other than Shemitah. Asur birakot ginai. You're not allowed to use yirakot gina, which are yirakot, which are the chavana, right? They are planted in the private gardens. Umutar birakot hasadeh, but they're going to be permitted in yirakot of the sadeh of Evked. V'shviit and on shemitah. Asur birakot hasadeh, mutar birakot gina. The exact opposite. You're not allowed to have the yirakot of the sadeh because when you made the neder, it was during shemitah. So obviously that was your kavana, and it's going to be permitted in yirakot hagina. Amar Rabbi Avu Mishum Rabbi Hanina ben Gamliel. Says Rabbi Avu in the name of Rabbi Hanina ben Gamliel. Gimel Amud Bet. Finishing the perek today. 53b. Lo shanu ela b'makom shem mevi'in yerek michutz haaretz haaretz. That's only if you don't bring vegetables from chutz haaretz to Eretz Yisrael. But b'makom shem mevi'in yerek michutz haaretz haaretz. But if they do bring vegetables from chutz haaretz to Eretz Yisrael, asur. It's going to be asur. So says the Gemara, no, it's not true. Why? It's machol ketanai. And mevi'in yerek michutz haaretz haaretz. Basically, there's machlok. Can you bring vegetables from chutz haaretz to Eretz Yisrael or not? My taman demand amar and mevi'in. What's the reasoning why you cannot bring it? So he comes and he says, Amar Rabbi Yirmiyah mishum gush. Right? Why? Because they didn't want to bring in gush afar of chutz haaretz. Because gush afar of chutz haaretz is tameh. So they didn't want to bring in things which are tameh into Eretz Yisrael in order to impurify the things which are pure in Eretz Yisrael. So because of that, there was a mandamar that you're not allowed to bring in anything from Chutz Haaretz to Eretz Yisrael. We're talking about Yirakot. Okay? Fine. Next Mishnah. Okay, well, nowadays it's completely different. There's no Tumah V'Tara. Yeah? So it's different nowadays. Okay, Nun Gimel Amud Bet, 53b. Says a Mishnah. Mina Kruv. If you made a neder against Kruv, cabbage, yeah, that's how they could translate.
Cabbage.
Yeah, cabbage. Asur bispargos, right? Asparagus, right? Which is asparagus. Yeah, asparagus. Yeah. 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 So he says, min asparagus. Yeah, mutar bikruv. So from the asparagus, you're going to be mutar and kruv. So therefore, interesting. So it says here, because it's a type of a kruv, right? That means it's also considered kruv. Meaning asparagus is considered a kruv.
I don't know from why.
What it says here.
It says no. It says it's a.
No mats, you're going to say, yeah? I don't know. I don't know why, but that's what it says here.
It's a species of cabbage.
Yeah, a species of cabbage. But asparagus, you're allowed in the kruv. Min agrisin. Huh? Mina Mishnah, Noder Mina Grisin, says a Mishnah. Somebody makes a neder from Grisin, right? These are types of kitniot or chitar or things like that. Asur, sorry, thank you. Asur b'mikpah. Thank you. So he says here, you're not allowed to have a mikpah. What is a mikpah? The mikpah is a tavshil, which is a thick porridge made out of grisin. Okay? How do they translate grisin? Like beans?
גריסים לא, אמרנו שזה כמו עם החיטה ברלי כזה, לא ברלי.
It's not really barley, so... I don't know, here it says it's mine kitniot or gargire chita, like a pearl wheat. No, it's not lentils. It says they're lentils?
לא, זה לא לנטוס. אני אגיד לך עכשיו.
Rabbi Yosef matir. Rabbi Yosef says that it's going to be mutar. However, though, if a person comes and he makes a neder of mina mikpah, mutar b'grisin. It's going to be mutar from the grisin. Mina mikpah asur b'shum. If a person comes and he makes a neder against mikpah, he's not allowed to have
Grits.
Okay, grits. Fine. It says here you're not allowed to have shum. Because shum
is a potaje. It's like could be a cholent.
Yeah, it's like a cholent or a porridge, whatever you want to call it. So here he's saying that you're not allowed to have shum. Rabbi Yosef matir. Rabbi Yosef says that it's going to be permitted. Mina shum mutar mikpah. But if you did it from the shum, you're allowed to have the mikpah. Right? That means even though sometimes it does have shum, because it's not called on the shum, it's called on the mikpah. Meaning it's just one ingredient in the big food. Okay? Mina adashim, now it's lentils. Right? Asur ba'ashishim. So you're not allowed to have the ashishim. The ashishim were the lentils which were honey fried, or whatever you want to call them, right? Rabbi Yosef matir, Rabbi Yosef is permitted. Mina ashishim mutar ba'adashim. But if you did it from the ashishim, you're allowed to have the adashim.
Semula is grits. It's like
Chita, chitin, shani toem. Imagine a person comes and he says chita, chitin. Asur bahen ben kemach u ben pat. Doesn't matter whether it's going to be bread or flour, because he said chita chitin. Kris krisin shani toem. Asur bahen ben chayim. Whether it's going to be cooked or raw. Rabbi Yehuda says kunam gris or chita shani toem mutar lakus chayim. You're allowed to eat it raw. Right? Some people would actually chew it raw, right, without actually cooking it or making it into flour. Says the Gemara. Tanya, we learned to the right there. It says, "Chita shani toem asur le'efot u'mutar lakos." You're not allowed to bake it as bread, but you're allowed to chew it raw. Chitim shani toem, because that's what you said chita. But if you said chitim asur lakos, you're not allowed to eat it raw, but you're allowed to bake it, because obviously to eat it when it's going to be baked is not the same thing. Chita chitin, if you say both, you're not allowed to whether it's going to be lakus or le'efot. Gris shani toem asur levashel u'mutar lakos. You say gris, so you're not allowed to cook it, but you're allowed to chew it raw. Grisin shani taim, you're not allowed to chew it raw, but you're allowed to cook it. Grisin shani taim, you're not allowed to cook it or to chew it raw. Hadran alach hanodeh min hamushal. We just finished the chapter of hanodeh min hamushal. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to